I think it's a huge competitive advantage, and I think storytelling is absolutely one of the best ways to have a long-term brand that really just wins. Huge.
We see a lot of end consumers resonating with this is a business that's been in town 10, 20, 30, 40 years, or the family aspect. And we really encourage our membership to use content that they're creating at their store level. There's so many different clever things that our membership has done to build that connection and to resonate with that emotional aspect with a customer.
It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I actually believe that social media posts that are just really unpolished and pretty much what real life looks like, those are the things that resonate the most with people. Welcome to the Grit Blueprint Podcast, the playbook for building unmistakable brands that grow, lead, and last in the built world. I'm Stephanie Couch, the founder of Grit Blueprint, and I'm a lifelong building industry insider. I was raised here, built my career here, and now my team and I help others win here. The truth is, you can be the best option in your space and still lose to someone else who simply shows up better and more consistently. Each week on the Grit Blueprint, I'm going to show you how to stand out, earn trust, and turn your brand into a competitive advantage that lasts. If you're ready to be seen, known, chosen, and become unmistakable, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Welcome to the Grit Blueprint Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Couch, and I am here today on site in Indianapolis at the Do It Best Group Market. Welcome to the show, Kerry Hasselbach.
Thanks for having me, Stephanie.
Yeah, I'm pumped. We are here live in action. There's a lot going on today. We're getting set up. And so kind of the calm before the storm.
100%.
Awesome. And you are actually the director of marketing at Do It Best. So tell me a little bit about what you do here and what your day-to-day looks like. Because I know you have a team and we've talked about some of the exciting stuff you're doing.
Yeah, so the Do It Best marketing team consists of a lot of different services and support for all of our members and dealers. And what that looks like is anything from helping them with circulars, helping them do digital marketing. We also are able to support prepping them for grand opening events and stuff like that. And then we also have a managed marketing team, which I'm really excited to talk about too. We have an agency approach within Do It Best. So you have industry knowledge coming right from a marketing team.
Yeah, that's something that most people don't have because you either know marketing or you know the products, and most people don't know both. So that's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, let's talk a little bit though about how you got here, because you weren't, here a few years ago. You were doing other stuff that was totally different. You actually came from the fashion world.
That's right.
You were designing handbags, which I'm very interested in. Hopefully you still have some cool swag. You actually showed us a hot pink bag earlier a few minutes ago, and it may or may not still be in your bag when you get outside. But I am excited to hear your story. So tell me, how did you get from handbags and rug design, which you were doing in between, to now working at Do It Best?
Yes. So one day, if I do end up writing a book, it'll be from handbags to hardware.
Oh, love.
So I plan on retiring in hardware. So I actually joined Do It Best after moving to Indiana for the handbag company called Vera Bradley, which is right around the block from Do It Best.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what brought me to Fort Wayne. And when I left Vera Bradley, I loved Fort Wayne and didn't want to leave Fort Wayne, and ended up meeting some people that worked at Do It Best kind of organically. And they couldn't say enough things about the people, the members, everything about the company. And that really drew me in. Yeah.
Fort Wayne's a pretty cool town. I have been there several times, and there's just something really special about this. It's small town, but it's not super small town. So I love that. And you guys have an amazing office at the Electric Works building. So I can see why you would want to work there every day. How do your skills that you use, though, doing other things, you were doing the handbag stuff. You also did rug design and a lot of other marketing in that. How do those skills transfer to something that is totally different in the world now that you're in hardware?
Sure. So a lot of innovation is required in all industries, and especially I see a lot of opportunity in hardware. So it's kind of a benefit that I'm entering it with a clean slate. I don't have rules that I know how to follow or to break necessarily. It's just, where do you see opportunity and where do you see white space? And a lot of times in my career, I was starting new companies or new brands within established companies. So that whole entrepreneurial aspect, I'm really passionate about. advocating for small business owners. And so when I found out about Do It Best and what they do and the service that they provide, I was on board with that mission immediately, helping small businesses thrive and grow.
One of the things that I find the most challenging and also the biggest opportunity with our industry is that marketing sometimes can be a little bit of a bad word for a lot of members or people, dealers out in them. It's not that they don't find it, something that's could be valuable. They just don't really understand it. They don't usually sit and make branding plans or, figure out how to do social media ads. But that's something you take away from the need to do because your marketing team actually is helping people, like you said, sort of in-house agency that is helping people do those things, social media ads, organic social, mailers, events, merchandising, all those things that really matter.
Yeah.
You're helping them do that. Tell me more about what that actually looks like, because you can say that, but what does that mean for a member?
So like you said, people are so busy running their businesses. They might have a cashier call out and have to run the register while doing payroll, while doing all of the things. So what's really unique and amazing about what Do It Best offers in marketing is that we have people that are there every day of the week helping out. If someone has a question about social media, we can either guide them in the direction, or if they want us to provide those services for them, we have an in-house team that does all of the creative, all the graphic design as well. And what's especially magical, I would say, about Do It Best is that we're not just marketing the Do It Best brand, we're marketing Stephanie's hardware, we're marketing Doug's hardware. So our team really sits with a member and understands the needs of their brand, what their goals are, if they want to have more in-store traffic, if they want to drive more e-commerce sales, if they're just more about, hey, we're in the neighborhood, so brand and awareness, they really can kind of cater their recommendation or their consultation to that. And then depending on what the member's situation is, if they have a staff and they have a team that could execute, we could kind of provide that guidance, or we can execute for them on many cases as well.
And you're doing e-commerce. You actually have a new digital marketing solutions platform. Tell me a little bit about that. How does it work and what are you doing for members?
Sure. So we saw a need, time is money and a lot of members are really busy. So we found a tool that we could implement and offer to all of our members that gives them the ability to manage their social media, both paid and organic, as you mentioned. They can also manage display ads, as well as reputation management. So their Google reviews, all on either a desktop platform or it's also available in an app for a very low monthly fee. And our goal in Do It Best Marketing is to provide services that a member couldn't go out and find at retail for the lowest price that we're able to offer. And also we have all of that creative, like I mentioned, we're uploading product content from all of these amazing vendors here at the market, as well as customized content on services. We do see a lot of traction on social media, actually, when a member is advertising a service that they offer. They're getting more impressions, more clicks on those types of things, and that's bringing customers into the store.
I personally think that services and that customer niche is one of the ways that independents can win that most bigger competitors can't touch, because they have services, but a lot of times the turnkey part or that type of experience you're giving people is what they keep coming back for. That's really remembered. And honestly, it's so profitable for most of these businesses. So that's a huge deal too. Yeah. I love that.
And the relationship factor too. My team is building relationships with the members. We're celebrating family milestones with them, succession plans when maybe a daughter or a son takes over a business. So we really get to know them in a different way, which people really appreciate.
This episode of the Grit Blueprint podcast was sponsored by Do It Best Group. Do It Best Group is the largest co-op in the world, and they help independent hardware and lumber yards all over North America win. Do It Best offers services, products, and people that can help you win long term. They are the champion of independence. There's a lot to think about as a business, especially a small business, every single day. Like you said, they're busy already. There's a lot of things changing. AI is coming at people. They don't know what to do or how to implement it. There's a lot of technology out there other than just AI. What do you think that people in the market, whether it's technology based or not, what are they underestimating that your members or dealers should be thinking about?
So consumer behavior is ever changing. And there's a lot of psychology that goes into understanding and studying that, as well as marketing itself. So it's not just as simple as, oh, we're going to throw a circular out into the zip code area. It's more, who are we targeting? What are they looking for? And then how are we building that demand instead of pushing products onto them? So something that we really need to stay on top of from a consumer standpoint is we need to be getting marketing to that consumer in several different channels. So back in the day, maybe we could have a circular as a bag stuffer, or we would send it to a certain mailbox list that we would have on file. But what we really want to do is also get them on social media, both paid and organic. We want to make sure that they're seeing us pop up in all different ways on their internet journey when they're shopping for other categories and other products. So it's really important to have that full omni-channel approach when we're going after customers today. And we also have a team that does marketing analytics on staff, which is another best kept secret.
Yeah.
And they can really sit with a member and they can go through based on where their stores are located. They can show them, hey, here's the demographics of who's shopping, how much share of wallet you have today, what your opportunity is. And so we really have tools and skills to marry that all together and set up a plan that actually works.
Consumers are buying differently than they've ever bought, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're always buying online. Even beforehand, they're doing research online.
That's
They're
right.
seeing it. And I think we consistently underestimate how many times people need to see our brand or a product to be ready to purchase. I find that a lot of people want to do a lot of bottom of funnel marketing, which to not use marketing speak is I'm ready to buy, I have a credit card in hand, or I'm going to the store today. But it takes so much to see all of those things before that to get to that point most of the time. And I think we have to be showing people what it's about and telling the stories of why you would want to come buy from you. How does the local business, how do they tell those stories that people connect with? Because I think it's a huge competitive advantage. And I think storytelling is absolutely one of the best ways to have a long-term brand that really just wins huge. How do you help people tell their stories?
Sure. So it's 100% correct. It's such a unique value proposition for our membership to be able to tell their story. So we see a lot of end consumers resonating with, this is a business that's been in town 10, 20, 30, 40 years, or the family aspect. We get a lot of activity around pictures of events, pictures of customers in the store. And we really encourage our membership to use content that they're creating at their store level. So that could be some people working in the store as they're sweeping, dancing to music. There's so many different clever things that our membership has done.
Yeah.
And we get such a kick out of it. And the benefit of being an in-house marketing team is that we can share some wins with other members and help encourage them to think outside the box and try something a little bit different to build that connection and to resonate with that emotional aspect with a customer.
Another thing I think we need to make sure people understand is it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I actually believe that social media posts and different things like that that are just really unpolished and pretty much what real life looks like, those are the things that resonate the most with people. I see videos of contractors on job sites or people at hardware stores doing something very mundane, like you said, sweeping the floors. There are a few customers that I got to interview at the IHI conference a few months ago. And, you know, Randy's Hardware has an amazing YouTube channel.
Love their channel.
Sullivan's Hardware he is just a riot in every way, but he has a radio show. He's doing Instagram. I think they're on YouTube. They're doing a lot of things, but none of that is perfect. It is fun and it's relatable and it gets people's attention. So think about how, you know, you can be out of the box as a person that's doing something in your market and just try some stuff. I think that's a really big thing that people, they miss. They think the marketing's got to be, everything is 100%. Like, it's a social media post. It's probably going to be gone in 24 hours and nobody's going to see it. You could always delete it if it's not what you wanted it to be. But I love that people can try things. Well, tell me a little bit about, if you were a new member of Do It Best, what are the things that you should know that maybe they would not know?
So the best kept secrets, I keep using this term because so much comes with the co-op membership that doesn't even cost additional. So the marketing team we already talked about. I think there's another thing that I would love to talk about quickly here, which is our member education. So this is something that I think is really fantastic. We have in-house people that are speaking to our members directly. And we also have something called CORE, or the College of Retail Education. And I really encourage members to make sure that they have some of their store staff attend those when they join our co-op. We do offer them twice a year. And that really goes through, hey, each department comes in and says, this is what merchandising does. This is what logistics is all about. Here's what marketing can do for you and what all of our programs and services are. And then they're right there in Fort Wayne. And we have team members that can come down, get them signed up, help them kind of build a plan and a strategy, and then help them execute it throughout the year versus you just leave with a piece of paper that you file away. Yeah. So it's really amazing.
And even at Market here, there's the learning sessions on Friday.
Yes.
There are sessions Saturday and Sunday here at the LBM booth, which are open to all members, covering topics ranging from operational excellence all the way to lumber futures to social media and kind of everything in between. I'm speaking on AI a few times. So it is a really cool value that you give to people to just come and listen to experts that are doing it every day. A lot of which have been doing this kind of a long time, their whole life. You know, Scott Morrison on your team has been in this for 40 years. So that's a big value to people. So don't miss that as an advantage if you are a member or a dealer here.
That's right.
Thank you so much for joining me on the show. I want to ask you one last question. If you could give people one piece of advice for a new person starting in this industry, what would you say to them?
I would say lead with authenticity and consistency and stay true to yourself. Trying to emulate what competitors and other brands are doing isn't going to set you apart. It's your unique proposition to a member or to an end consumer is really going to be what draws people in and builds that relationship. So be yourself.
Absolutely. I like to say be unmistakable. And I mean, that for me is a pink dress and a pink hat, but you can figure out what's your unmistakable quality.
That's right.
So I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you have an amazing market. I know you're going to be doing lots of fun stuff. Better wear your walking shoes the rest of the week because it's going to be a busy weekend. So
it really will.
Thank you for joining me
so
on
much,
the Grit
Stephanie.
Blueprint. Thank you for listening to the Grit Blueprint podcast. If this episode helped you think a little differently about how to show up, share it with someone in your building world who needs it. If you're ready to turn visibility into growth, then head to gritblueprint.com to learn more and book a call to talk to us about your growth strategy. Until next time, stay unmistakable.